For bigger orgs, it's much more stable because these bigger orgs, they keep a core roster in, they change 1 or 2 players, they're almost still always guaranteed to get invited to a LAN or just go through qualifiers. For every other smaller org, I don't think it's that beneficial, which kind of goes back to the end of the EPC. There were some optimistic people, and well, if you don't qualify, you're not stable.
I guess so right now, because there's a lot of tournaments going on, which is probably good for the tier 1 players. But also obviously like DPC, Division 2 and stuff is dead now, so there is no more like lower level teams that like have that much of a chance. We used to have all qualifiers, but it's maybe like harder to get like into the scene now than it was before.
It's like there's good and bad, because I think back then when there was like DPC and like structure, like majors and like TI, it provided teams, especially like tier 2 teams in Division 2, like you have something to do throughout the year. But nowadays, I think it's like more like a lot of qualifiers, and I think a lot of teams, I guess they don't make it out. So I think in that sense, it's not as good. Now that there's like a lot of third-party tournaments, I think that's really good. I feel like it's really starting to accelerate again, and it's really nice to have like a lot of tournaments.
I guess, yeah. There's a lot of tournaments. Unlike before, like if you lose like qualifiers, you have to break like 2 months, which is not really that great on the org side and the player side, because it's quite boring. I think right now I like it more.
I think right now it's harder for new players, because in previous there was much more patches and Dota really changed. That's why it was harder to become a really strong team, because you don't have enough time to adapt. Right now, a lot of really strong teams, because they know how to play, they really adapt very well. So if you're a new player, it's really hard to understand how you should play and how you can be stronger than the teams. For example, Falcons, I guess they playing in the same way, like when patch added these portals. That's why, for example, they are really strong. They just still know how to play, because map did not change at all.
Yeah, I said it's a hard one because I think it's based off per region.
Yeah.
Right, because like money's a bit drier in SCA, and you see China's having a hard time keeping their organizations open. Even SA, I'm sure, is not having the best of times right now, and the slots keep getting reduced as well to every tournament. But EU and CIS, yes, it seems more stable. For the rest, it seems pretty rough.